I'd want to know more. I would not just be like, oh my God, get your demon child away from me. I would want to study your demon child and then say, get away from me. What's up, Rat Fam? Have you ever had like an unexplainable, freaky experience where you swear you saw somebody walk past you and then 2 seconds later you turn around and they're not there? Or that you're talking to somebody in the same room and then you walk out of the room and then there they are somehow already in the next room? I'm not explaining it very well, but these are called glitches in the Matrix. They're like these weirdly unexplainable, freaky instances where time or movement do not function in the way that we typically expect them to. Wow, great description. But the whole point of this is today I want to explore some of the creepiest glitches in the Matrix stories people have shared in this Reddit thread. Things aren't always as they seem. That's cryptic enough. Okay, let's get to it. When I was 14 or so, I went to sleep at my typical time and woke up 2 days later in the morning. I went downstairs panicking, asking if my family knew I had been sleeping for 2 whole days and what the heck happened. The question was ignored and they told me to sit down and have some breakfast. So they completely dismissed this person. How? 2 whole days? How does that happen? I mean, I guess maybe it's like the kid's a teenager and it's summertime. No, that's still weird. Your parents should still check in on you. Who sleeps for 2 whole days and no one in their family disturbs them? That's weird. Like, once if they died. But someone replied to this comment with their own story of something very similar happening to them. That happened to me too. Although I was like 7 years old at the time, which is even more concerning because like, it's really freaking young. I went to bed normally on a Tuesday, woke up just before noon on a Thursday. The only person in the house who even acknowledged it whatsoever was my brother. And then the original poster said, same, my brother was the only one who expressed an interest in what happened, but his interest passed rather quickly. This is like making my blood boil. I am concerned for them. I am mad at these families for them. My mom used to work during the day and leave me home alone when I was about 12 or 13. She would ring the home phone periodically throughout the day to make sure everything was all right. One day, I'm home alone and my phone rings. I pick it up and sure enough, it's my mom. We have a short, succinct conversation that's basically, everything going all right? Yes, it is, Mom. Okay, don't answer the door if anyone knocks, that type of stuff. Very normal conversation, we have them all the time. It ends, I hang up and go about my day. Not even 15 minutes later, the phone rings again. I pick up and it's my mom again. We exchange hellos and I jokingly say, must be a slow day. You literally just called me. I don't know why I did this. I guess I'm on the phone too. But my mom goes very quiet for a minute and then says, I haven't called you today. That is so freaky. My blood went cold. And to this day, I still don't know who called me. We came up with a secret password after that. Oh my God, I'm getting like goosebumps trying to understand why someone would even get enjoyment out of pretending to be their mom. And obviously they know what their mom sounds like. So this person would have to be really, really good at imitating their mother's voice. Like you think if someone like wants to prank them, they'll have them do something. They'll say like, hey, I'm gonna come home, answer the door. I forgot my keys. Because then you could say like they wanted to get into the house. They want to like rob them or like steal the kid, like creepy stuff like that. But for them just to hang up and like being uneventful, that's freaky. That's weird. That's a glitch in the Matrix for you. Right there. That's a perfect example. But someone did reply to this saying, what if the password was with the wrong mom? And that's a really good freaking point. But I feel like it would have came up by now. What good would it be? Unless like they knew in the future they wanted to like switch places with the mom. Okay, that's freaky. About a year ago, my mom and I were in the first parking space area of a small shopping mall. She was getting things ready for the store and I was just waiting there. The space in front of us was parked by a large white SUV. I can't explain why, but I had this urge to study the SUV when I usually don't even pay attention to something like that. The family that owned the SUV came out and it was a father, infant in a carrier, and a little girl. So 3 family members. The little girl stared at us the entire time her father was getting her into the car. She had this huge oversized boner hair and a side ponytail, so a very distinct look to her. And she just kept staring at us. Even as they walked to the driver's side, she didn't take her eyes off us for 1 second. The father packed her up. My mom just stared at her too. It was all just a very strange situation. We went into the store right after the whole family was in the SUV. When we went to open the door, the same family came out. The family that got into the SUV and was leaving. The family that they walked past, like they're already gone. There's no way they could be in this mall. They came out. It was the odd little girl, the father, and the infant in a carrier. My mom and I looked at each other in horror because it took him 5 minutes to pack his kids into the SUV. How could he get out run to the store. In a few seconds, it took us to walk to the sidewalk in front of the store. There's no explanation for that. There's no way he could. We weren't the only ones who saw this either. A worker from the food place next to the store saw it, and we all exchanged looks of just terror and just being uncomfortable. I have no idea what this was, but I can tell you that very few people have believed me and my mom when we share the story. That's messed up, and I believe you because that's, oh my God, I thought I saw something behind me in my freaking viewfinder. Oh God, I'm too scared. You know, if it was just you by yourself, I can see how you'd rationally be like, oh, maybe the person just looked really similar. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe I've seen these people before somewhere else. There are a plethora of explanations you can pick from to try to explain when something like this happens to you by yourself. But when there's multiple people involved, that's so much harder. I would not be able to explain a situation like this if someone else was with me and saw the same thing. Obviously, I don't remember this personally, but when I was about 2 or 3, my great aunt and grandmother had just returned from Scotland, and the family was invited to watch the projection slideshow at my grandparents'. At my age, I wasn't very interested until there was a picture of a large pond/lake with some ducks in it. I piped up, I know that place. Of course, everyone responds, that's not possible, it's on the other side of the world. I then proceeded to crankily say, I used to live there with my mommy with the white hair. Then something about my horsey and that I lived in the castle up on the hill from the pond. Sure enough, the next slide was of a lake with some ruins further up the hill. Oh my God, that gave me a shiver down my spine. My auntie apparently freaked out, turned off the projector, and wouldn't watch the rest of it with me. No, I would be fascinated. I'd be curious. I'd want to know what the heck you talking about, and I want to know more because that is a weird coincidence. That is too much of a coincidence. Right? I would ask a lot of questions and I'd write them down or film them because I would want to document that. That's such a fascinating, well, creepy thing to experience. I would want to know more. I would not just be like, oh my God, get your demon child away from me. I would want to study your demon child and then say, get away from me. I visited my hometown after 15 years. I went directly to my childhood friend's home. It was locked. I thought he was out or something. But as soon as I turned, he was standing right behind me. Okay, that's creepy. Okay, I don't like that. That's the starting of a horror movie. We hugged. Bro time ensued. Okay, so not that creepy. He asked me to come inside after he unlocked the door. His house was spooky. Okay, back to being a horror movie. Things were broken. Furniture was covered and dusty. I said, what the heck is up? He told me he just didn't have time for it and that he was so busy. I didn't care really. I mean, I guess you could understand. Broken? That's a little weird, but maybe he's just messy. I just wanted to catch up on all of the old stuff from our childhood. We talked about everything from childhood to adulthood, and after a few hours, I told him I'd be going to my cousin's home to stay the night. He insisted that I stay the night, but I didn't really want to spend the night in the house as it was just too darn spooky and covered in dust with like broken furniture. I wouldn't want to stay there either, bud, you know what I mean? So he told me to come back here tomorrow, and I said definitely I would. And then I told him goodbye and I went to my cousin's house. At dinner, I told him about my friend in his house. They looked at me with terror and disbelief. My cousin said something like, don't you dare mess with us. And I was surprised as to why he would say that to me. Okay, yep, the horror movie. I pegged it. Of course I did. This is a scary story, Kaylena. They told me that the friend had died in a car accident 10 years ago. God, that is so sad. His parents and family had moved somewhere else and the house had been locked up ever since. I have no idea what the heck happened. I was pooping bricks. To this day, I don't know if it was a dream or reality, but still, I'm just glad that my friend or ghost or imagination, whatever, caught up with me. Okay, what? This is a lot. This is heavy. I could see how someone could pass away and you not know, but the fact that your family still lives there and knew that they passed away, they never told you that? It never came up once on a phone call or a text message or something? That's weird. And now if you're thinking like maybe the person he was talking to was not his friend, it was someone that was like camping out in that house, he made an edit to his original post saying that's not the case, that he's not dumb, that he knows what his friend looks like, and that it just looked as if he had aged really, really well. If it looked like him, it wouldn't just be some random stranger staying in the house, you know what I mean? And if it was a family member, they would have hopefully not pretended to be this person. And how would they have known about the childhood stories? Okay, this is, the more I think about it, the more sad I get. And like, is he still waiting for him to show up? Did he ever show up the next day? I'm assuming not. But like, I would. I mean, not alone. But he unlocked the door, but he explained the mess. I would definitely want to go back to this house though and just see for myself that no one was actually there. Sorry to end today's video on that one. Hope it didn't make you too sad. What do you think? Do you think it was someone pretending to be his friend? Do you think he somehow hallucinated the whole thing? If so, he should really get that checked out. You know, hallucinations could be a sign of something wrong and, you know, for your health, and, you know, you should really get that checked out. Or do you think maybe his friend's ghost stayed behind? But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please turn on my channel notifications so that you actually see when I post videos if you want. Hopefully you do, because you're stuck around all the way to the end. I should really probably say this in the beginning next time. But until next time, keep with the radness, and hopefully I'll see you real soon. Bye! All of these like glitches in the Matrix make me scratch my head, make me think, what the heck? But that last one, man, that's not sitting right with me.